Now, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a blue flame coming out of that burner next to the orange one. I can't zoom in anymore. And this. It's like there's a blue straight line of gas flame coming out of the thinner tube and the orange flame coming out of the thicker part. That's pretty awesome actually. I wish it would show up better in here though. We still got our little ground flare going, doing its thing. I just wanted to show you this for a minute. I mean, I'm filming from my bedroom window, which I don't usually do. It's all usually done at the kitchen window. All my sky videos and flare videos, but yeah, the last two filming flares in the dark have been from my room window, because I wanted to try and get a little higher just to see some of these little lights down and about here that you can't usually see from the bottom window. But as an industrial lover, I can't ask for anything more really in terms of views. I mean, I think for most people, imagine having this view, you know, it would be awesome. I say most people, but obviously not the snowflakes that hate this place, you know. They don't appreciate its visual beauty or its necessity to society, you know. But we do. Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for more than that, especially if you're like me and you live for this kind of stuff. Yeah. What view you have from the bedroom? And over here we've got the, can't really see it, the little paint factory. I think it's a cement factory. I'm not sure what it is. It's either a paint or a cement factory. But that's where one of the Hormons are that I've filmed before. But wow though, I mean, I'm so lucky to have this view. It's just, let me zoom in a bit on some of that. It's just incredible. I mean, I know this place is beautiful in the morning when we like see the sky pictures and videos of the beautiful clouds and colours, but it's definitely at night that it really comes alive. I mean, that's just like New York. The skyline, city skyline, it just looks like a city at night, even during the day. It's like one of those futuristic cities with all the fancy shaped buildings and stuff during the day. But the blinds that we have downstairs on the living room window, they actually are a black and white print of New York skyline with all the buildings and stuff. And at night, if you pull the blind down and you align it just right to all these lights here, it does actually look like the buildings on the blinds are lit up when it shines through. I mean, it's just amazing. What a view though. I just wanted to show you this. Like, I don't know if I can get it all the way across. But yeah, I mean, so I don't usually have my room blind up. I always keep my blind down. I love the darkness. The daylight gives me headaches. I can't be doing with it, to be honest with you. I'm a night person all round, so I don't ever have my blind up unless I'm cleaning it or cleaning the window. But tonight I just thought I needed to get a little bit higher, so What's that ground floor though? I mean, it's awesome. Can I get in, zoom in any more than that? No. I mean, I call it the cauldron. I call them cauldrons, all those ground flares in refineries, and I've seen some up in the Fife ethylene plant as well. They're spectacular, those ones up there. Huge square ones. And when they blast up, they really blast up. In fact, I have an old video of them somewhere that I found the other night on one of my phones, so I'll try and get that, best bits of that uploaded at some point. But, yeah, I call them cauldrons because they look like big, round witches' cauldrons, you know, flaming cauldrons. That's just my analogy of them anyway. If I'm ever referring to anything as a cauldron in the refinery, you know what I'm talking about. This little guy here. And there's 2 more up the back away behind all this. 4 more, sorry, there's 4 or 6 more, I can't remember. I've looked it up though on Google Earth. Yeah, there's quite a few big box square ones behind there, but they don't go off very often. They don't go flaming up very often. This wee one over here, that's a fairly newer one compared to them, and I lived here at least 2 years before I realised that fire came out it. I didn't register at first. I was coming home on the bus one night and I just seen the sky glowing. And I know that's obviously a very regular occurrence for Grangemouth, but I mean, we all know it usually glows up high from the stacks. But this was glowing from down below. It was a glow coming from below. And as I said, you can't see any of this extra stuff, and you can't properly see that cauldron when it's going unless you're up at a good height. So when I was riding on the bus coming home that night, and I just seen the little glow and the flicker coming from away down low, I was kind of startled at first. I was like, what's going on? And then I put 2 and 2 and 4 and 6 and 9 and 7, 8 together, and eventually it clicked. So the main purpose of the ground flare is obviously to minimise this kind. Because obviously, you know, the people, as we know, around here, some of them in recent years, take any opportunity they can to try and get us into trouble or complain about something, you know. FP10. But yeah, so obviously to stop people being, bothered, if you get me, by it, they switched to the ground flare, and that was their purpose, to minimise the visual and the noise of the big flares. So that's why there's 2 manufacturing plants here closed just now for routine maintenance. That's why the cauldron is blazing. Because, like my video I put up the other day in the daylight with the flares, that big one at the back there on this side was going off its head, you know. And I've noticed that when either one of these 2 really go up, that's when the cauldron tends to come on the most. So I'm slightly more tended to believe that the cauldron is connected to those back to, not this one. This usually does its own thing. I think it's connected to these two in some way, because whenever they need to go up for a reason, that goes up, and when they're down, that's usually down. So, but yeah, so as I said, we have routine maintenance going on just now. Shut down the units to do working stuff, so that's why there's a lot of flaring. But everyone knew about it in advance, so hopefully nobody's been at the phone to separate again, you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of refineries and chemical plants have flare sirens. Sirens that they sound if there's going to be a period of flaring. They sound it just to let everyone know. Imagine if they had that here. Imagine the amount of calls to the council. Not only for the flare, but for the siren. I mean, I still can't believe it about the FP10 though. I mean, as I've said before many times, fair enough. They worry about their health with the flaring, although we all know there's nothing to worry about. But they get worried, they get bothered by it for their own petty reasons. But to report a siren that was getting used for essential safety exercises, and then for a NEOS to turn around and bow down to them and stop using it, I tell you, if I was in charge, would I hell have stopped using it? I would have just told the locals straight. It has to happen. You know, just like when they've got to explain themselves over and over again about the flaring. Why it has to happen, you know. So does safety sirens for safety tests. You know, so would I hell have just bowed down to them and stopped using a vital siren because they didn't like the sound of it or whatever the bloody hell, you know? Would I hell? And they should start using it again. That's a siren, that's not posing any danger to anyone's health, that's not, you know, all these things that they accuse the flaring of doing. A siren isn't going to do any of that, you know? So what, you know, seriously. There's no reason a NEOS should have stopped using that. I'm not just saying that because it compromised my videos, although it did. But I'm saying that on behalf of everyone that works there. I mean, look at it, it's bloody massive. Look at the kind of stuff we got going on. But no. Some people are too selfish to recognise the importance of emergency alarms and testing them, you know. God, I've got half a brain. And even I know how vital the kind of things are. And even if I was a snowflake like them and I didn't like it, I would still recognise why things had to happen. You know? So it's about learning and understanding and accepting. And as I say, it's so quiet, even with all them flares going. And even when the big ones were going, it was just slight rumbles every now and then. When the gas flared up, that's it. You know, most of the time it is dead around here, it is so peaceful. You wouldn't even know there was anything outside until you looked. So I don't know why they complain all the time. I mean, put it in another way. You could have like, well, there's 52 weeks in a year. So let's just say 5 of those weeks out of 52, to put it into perspective. 5 out of those 52 there would be flaring or something, you know. That's just like on a scale, I'm trying to put it here, like a 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 kind of thing, you know. If we were counting it up in weeks, 52 weeks in a year, so about 5 weeks or maybe even 4 or 3 weeks, I would say, that there would be flaring out of that. And they still complain. But of course, flaring would never go on for 3 weeks anyway. They just do it when they have to. And they get it over with as quickly as possible. Because contrary to a lot of people's beliefs, refineries actually don't like to do it. They don't want to do it. Because they know it could pose as a nuisance to some people, and they know they could subsequently have to deal with hundreds of bloody people moaning at them all the time and complaints, you know. So they don't go out their way to do it. It's done when it has to be done, you know. And they just try and get it over as quickly as possible. And if you go onto Aeneos's Facebook page, Aeneos Grangemouth, they always put up posts in advance, you know, unless it's an emergency shutdown if something, you know, malfunctions or something, and they have to suddenly close it. Then they'll put it up afterwards. After the flaring started, they'll put up the notice right away. But this one was planned, and it was up on Facebook for days that it was going to happen. So, but yeah, 99% of the time they tell people when it's going to happen, and they try and get it over with as soon as possible. Because they don't want to be a nuisance to anyone. Not that they should need to worry about stuff like that, but you know. Snowflakes. What an amazing place, though. Like, seriously. What an amazing place. I've stood up to see if I can try and film further over there. Maybe I'm down here. Aha! There we go. Some of the dockside in. That'll zoom out completely and just show you the sheer scale. You know. It's blooming massive. But it's so awesome. I've got a thing about accents. I like to do different random accents sometimes. Not outside or anything, just like when I'm bullshitting to myself or something. Like if you watched my I've silenced FP10 video, my little spoof sketch I done about the FP10 no longer being used, courtesy of our lovely locals. I attempted what probably sounded like a very offensive German accent for the Hormons. I wanted to keep them to their native country. And I haven't figured what accent I'm going to give FP10 if he ever sounds off again. Probably English, because Klaxon is English, isn't it? He'll probably have like a sort of posh English accent. Maybe something like this. Oh, there is... No, I don't think that is something. That's not my flatmate. Just the same car. I don't think that's him. He's not back yet. But yeah, I think FP10's gonna have a posh English accent. But I don't want to let him speak in any of the videos or give him a voice until I actually hear it sounding off again in real life. So I don't know how bloody likely that is. Probably not at all. So, but we'll see. We shall see. but I'll try and work on that German accent if I do another spoof video. I would like to, you know, even if it's not including FP10, I would like to do another spoof video like that. Because I love things like Tornado Siren Madness and Random, was it Random Siren Madness or what's the other one? That's not what it. I think it is Random Siren Madness actually. Well, you know all the ones where they show funny clips of them and make it look like they're really insulting each other and stuff. I love all of that. So I'd love to do more of that myself. But yeah, like I said, maybe just work on some of the accents. I kind of like the one that I give to the flares though, in my FP10 spoof video. That's sort of a, hey, don't bring us into this. I don't know where that came from, but I didn't know if I wanted them to be English or American, so it kind of came out as a bit of both, I think. But I like that one, if I do say so. So I'll definitely use that in any videos that I do in the future that's kind of spoofy. I'm gonna have to do one about the locals complaining about flaring. And probably have to do one about Fife ethylene plant as well, with all the kerfuffles that was going on with that place the past few years, but everything's calmed down now because they're doing a lot of maintenance work to the place to try and so it doesn't have to make sure everything's up, like right up to date, and make sure everything's ship shape so that it doesn't have to flare off as often. Because the thing is, the reason that I think the locals started to get so peed off all of a sudden about FEP was that the increase of the flaring that had happened in the past couple of years. So I think they've just they're going to up the maintenance like they do here in Grangemouth and make sure that it's tip-top shape to minimise any chance of flaring, and that's what the residents wanted. So it's always better to have residents in your community on your side when you're this type of business, you know. The last thing you want is people rallying against you. And that's what they were doing. I mean, they went to the bloody parliament over Fife ethylene plant. You can watch the videos of it. Threatening it with closure and everything if it didn't shut for the proper maintenance or if they didn't start to do more work to it. So that's what they've started doing, obviously. They've been given an ultimatum. You know. And it's better to have it closed or some parts of it. The whole place isn't completely closed, but they'll probably have, like they're doing here, shut down certain parts of it while they're doing maintenance, you know. So it's rather shut it down temporarily than have it shut completely altogether and took away, because that's what the locals were going to do, that's what they were trying to do if things didn't improve. But fortunately now I think they have, and hopefully that'll keep the locals over there happy and off of FIP's back, and you know, can get them back on side with the community like they used to be. Because it all has to be integrated. Or integrated. Yeah, integrated. I think I'm smart saying, oh, I'm going to use a big word and impress everyone, and then I use the wrong word or I get it wrong. Yeah. That's what happens when you don't rehearse your bloody videos. But, well, the only one that I tried to rehearse was they've silenced FP10 when I wrote it down on little post-it notes. I'd tried to say it to myself a couple times, pre-recording it, but I think it was on when I actually came to record it for real, I got it in the one go, which was good. So it wasn't much rehearsing, but that's the only planned talky bit I think I've ever done in a video so far. because it was a script that I'd written. So I didn't mean for this video to get that long. I bet no one's even tuned in this far. Yeah, I still got these. Yeah. Oh wait, that's my flatmate. That's definitely my flatmate. That's my flatmate with Snowy the car. If you watched the video I put up last month that says "To the car I loved and lost," that's the car that was called Inky, the big ink blue Ford Mondeo. That was the one that we had. But now we have Snowy, the white Ford Focus. At least I got to pick the name, you know. And I have a habit of just naming cars after the colour or something to do with their colour, you know. And the first time I seen it, I was like, it's really white. So I thought, Snowy. Because the other one was Inky, because he was ink blue. So this one's Snowy because he's Snow White. And yeah, I give them genders too, and agenders of their own. I bring inanimate things to life. So it really wasn't hard for me to imagine the Hormons coming to life and speaking in the spoof video. It didn't take me long to come up with the script. Oh, it was short. I came up with it pretty quick, and I just ran to get some paper and jotted it down while it was in my head. So, well, he's going to be coming in the door and hear me talking to my phone again as usual, and just silently shaking his head and walking away. So I shall end this video and bid you... I was going to say good night in another language, but I've forgotten how it goes, so I'll just say good night, or morning as it is now here. So I hope you've enjoyed my little rant and the lovely view. Glad I can share it with you for a while, but it's still all mine. You can't have it. You can't have it. It's mine. You can only look at it. Well, mind you, that's all I can do as well. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye everyone, and... oh, by the way, quickly, before I end the video, I've slept through 3 Hormone weekly tests. I really apologise, and the one time I was awake for it yesterday, it didn't go off. They didn't do it. So I'm really sorry about that, but definitely Monday. I'm not expecting any more parcels just now. I think most of all came actually, so I can get down to the complex on Monday and film it, so fingers crossed they set it off this time. Okay everyone, I shall see you in another video. I don't know when. Time will tell. Until then, goodbye.